Alright, so today I collected my Borg Warner Type 65, there's not focus in there, automatic gearbox, only to find out that the one I bought isn't the V8 model, and as great as it actually is, I mean the fluid's clear, it's pretty good. All the gears seem to work really well. Park, neutral, drive. Yeah. The bell housing itself, which is the important part, is the wrong one. So I am starting to take apart the 3.9 unit. So this has just basically had its inlet system removed, which is held in with these 8 bolts on either side. To get the front timing cover off, you need to zip out all the bolts, which you can see go into here, whip off this, get that bolt out, and also take off the crank pulley with that centre nut using one of these. To zip it off, and yeah, so I'm going to get this off, take a look at the timing chain, and then with a bit of luck get this one onto the stand. Over here I've managed to get the piston out of this 3.5 unit, looks really nice. So this one's staying as is. I'm going to fit the manual flywheel to the back of the crank, and figure out some kind of gearbox. Okay, so this afternoon I've removed the front timing cover. That's done by removing just a few bolts. You see here, them there. They're easy to tell. They're you can tell that they're really long ones that go into the front of the engine. I have the timing cover over here. You can tell usually which ones go into the block by get an example here. If you here, for example, you see it goes through the water housing all the way into the block. So I think there's about 8 of those 13mm heads. Another easy way to, I think the 13mm heads, and these are 12mm heads, so you know which ones are for the water pump and which ones are for the engine. Okay, so that's off, and the next step is to zip off this nut right here. Nope, that's weird. 16 it is. Okay, so that is the distributor drive gear, which looks that's okay. To pull on both sides of the assembly like this. And there you go. This is really old. Alright, camera retainer plate off. Moment of truth. Yes! There she is. One old, knackered camshaft. Alright, so I've started to strip down. This is the 3.9 Rover engine. Now it looks like this engine's been left outside for a long time, and the cylinders were completely full of rubbish. So, and the engine itself was actually seized, and we had to lubricate all the piston rings with some penetrating fluid and wiggle the crank back and forth to sort of just get it to move, and then we threw some engine oil down each of the cylinders, got it moving in a couple full clean rotations, smoothed right up. But the condition of these walls is not smooth to the touch. Some of them are really nice, but the ones that have had water sat in them are not nice at all. So I'm gonna have to try a light cylinder, either a hone, I believe it's called, to get the cylinder hones nice and smooth again without taking too much of it off, and hopefully none of it's pitted. Hopefully it's just surface rust on here. So I'm gonna get the pistons out, and I'm going to take a look at the cylinder walls themselves, check the cylinder liners. If you can see, I'm not sure how clear it is, but the actual cylinders, the walls themselves, are removable from the block. So you can fit new ones. I'm not sure how expensive that is. It's probably an arm and a leg. This engine might now be junk. I've no idea. So I've taken the sump off. She's down there, and you can see that just the oil pickup is left, and down there is the 3.5 litre. So yeah, sump off. I'm going to rotate the engine round on the stand, and we'll get the pistons out. Alright, so today I've been trying to tidy up the 3.9 engine block. As you can see, it's still pretty dirty. What I've been doing is basically soaking it in a tub of gunk degreaser. You can see here I've got the timing cover just sat, trying to kind of clean up a little bit. It's ridiculously dirty still. It's probably need jet washing off or something at the end of this, but yeah, really gross. The whole car was really filthy. So the block's looking decent. I've also managed to tidy up the heads a little bit. So it's coming along. I've noticed that one of the valves turn this over here. Ooh, that's over here. Is stuck open. So that's great. I'm guessing that means it's seized. So fun times. I'm going to be getting these springs off with a valve spring compressor and replacing all the stem seals. So we'll just see how it looks. In regards to crank chilling out over there. In regards to gearboxes, I've had to give up on the idea of using the RX-8 box, which is back there, and go back to using a Type 9, which is this one right here. This is a V6 variant. It's got a longer input shaft and slightly heavy duty gears inside apparently. I'm going back to this because the RX-8 was giving me too much trouble. The integral bell housing made the adaptation really hard. I'm going to go back to using a Type 9 box, which obviously is the one off the car itself, so it bolts straight in. The prop shaft goes right in the back of here, no drama. Remove the bell housing and fit a Rover V8 automatic bell housing and use a adapter plate in between all of that. So that's where I stand on that sort of front. The next thing for me is I'm off my holidays soon, so I'm going to leave the half shaft, well the entire axle and the rear gears with a motor engineer to have him put all that together again. And I'm also going to leave this box and one of the engines with him too. He's going to make me up the adapter plate. So yeah, that's where I am right now.